Good afternoon, welcome to the Silk Cut Challenge Cup preliminary round. Leeds against Hunslet. Hunslet already out on the field, so without further ado, let's have a look at the two sides, starting with Hunslet. Number 1 is Lay, number 2 Wilson, and number 3 Moore, number 4 Coates, number 5 is Raw, and the halfbacks, number 6 Haig, Neil Haig that is, and number 7 Graham King, who scored 4 tries this season, one of their danger men. At 8 is Mason, 9 Gibson, number 10 Marson, at number 11 Sonny Nicol, who's quite highly rated and has been watched by quite a few First Division sides this season, at number 12 Bowden, and at number 13 Mitchell. The substitutes today are Lum and Warrener. Well, what of Leeds? Of course, spending all this money. Phil Ford coming to the side and scoring a hat-trick, but then the defeat last week. So it's been a championship behind them. And of course with the roar you can hear, here they come, led of course by Lee Crooks. And the team today, well, Andrew Ettinghausen is at fullback and now has 8 tries to his name this season. At number 2, John Bentley, of course, can now kick goals with increasing regularity, and he's 8 in the match against Oldham, shows his contribution to the side. At number 3 will be Carl Gibson. At number 4, David Stevenson, who came on last week for Gary Lord when he was injured at St Helens. Number 5, Phil Ford, and let's hope he gets more of the ball than he did last week. Number 6 and 7 will be Lyons and Ashton respectively. And the forwards today, Crooks is at 8, Gunn is at 9, coming in for Colin Maskell, who is injured. At number 10, Hugh Waddell. At 11, Roy Powell. Number 12, Paul Dixon. Number 13, David Heron. And the substitutes today, and have got a great roar when his name was mentioned. David Creaser at 14, and Sam Backo reverts to the substitutes bench at number 15. Referee today is Mr. Tennant of Castleford. There's a tremendous wind blowing here, and if we take our camera up onto this stand roof, we can probably see the wind and how strongly it's blowing. It's moving from left to right as Hunslet get ready to kick off, and we're away. Roy Powell taking that one very neatly. Socks roll down around his ankles as per usual. Well, the man that kicked off was Neil Haig for Hunslet. Hunslet in their green and gold, and of course had David Ward taking over the reins of the club earlier this week. Second spell, remember, he took them to the Second Division Championship when he was last there. Not had a particularly good season, Hunslet. They're currently lying 15th in the Second Division, having won just 5 of their 16 matches. And they've conceded quite a few points, 322. Matches against First Division sides have come in the early rounds of both cups. In the Yorkshire Cup, they lost away to Hull, 53 points to 4. And 53 points to 0, should I say. And in the preliminary round of the John Player, they lost away at Featherstone by 48 points to 2. So, not a good record against First Division sides, but recently they've been playing better. As Leeds snaffle that ball, Paul Dixon and Hugh Waddell. We've had a couple of good wins against Fulham down at the Polytechnic ground and against Keighley at home. Lost the last 2 games. Barrow put 40 points past them without reply, and York beat them at Elland Road, 29 points to 15. But cup competitions are a lot different, and the local derby such as this, see anything happening. That's a super kick by Cliff Lyons, gaining 25 yards, and Leeds playing against the wind. And the wind seems to follow us here at Headingley. Both the Featherstone game and the whole game played in quite strong winds. And a good win there by Gibson from that scrum, and a nice little run by Graham King. Coming on to that one at fair pace is Marson. He keeps going, and it's Gunn who brings him down. One man left out, and turns in the tackle there is Herbert Moore. Ball dropped and Lee Crooks gets the grip there of Chris Bowden. Well, he'll kick through, comes off a Leeds player, but knocked on. Richard Gunn doing the hooking job today in place of Colin Maskell. Richard's not had many chances in the first team this season. 2 appearances, has yet to score. But has made some 30 appearances in total, just scoring 1 try. And John Bentley tries to put that one right into our commentary position. So, first real attack by Leeds, and it's Waddell who makes a good 10 yards. And the referee deciding that as he was tackled there, the ball was knocked forward. I doubt if you get a shot of that on our camera because we were right behind the action. And once again, oh, that's a very neat hook by Gunn. Lyons, Ettinghausen in the line. Stevenson, can he get it clear? But no, he can't. Good tackle coming in by Coates. And, Roy Powell sold a suicide ball there by Lyons. Oh, nice break, and it's Paul Dixon. Scored about 17 tries for Halifax last year, so well worth his place, and let go. Paul Dixon picks it up, and absolutely slammed to the ground by Sonny Nicol. A lot expected of him in this game, and nicely played. Gibson had to come inside. Lyons will kick, and that one goes straight through the hands of Warren Wilson. So, Leeds with a put-in, and the scrum's 1 apiece at the moment. 2 first-class hooking jobs done. Mr. Tennant making sure that, well, Hunslet were virtually facing their own posts when that went in. Stevenson, Ettinghausen, got forward, Keeps uses him twice, and tackled by Steve Lay. Not enough space for Ettinghausen to get his pass out. Now 3rd leading scorer, with the departure of Paul Medley, who had 10, Ettinghausen now on 8. Gibson 15 and Schofield 14. The referee being fairly tolerant there at that play the ball, and not being able to get up, and again Ettinghausen into the line off of Heron's pass. That ploy used quite a lot by Leeds recently. Ashton, Dixon, Ashton again, and this time, oh, and Stevenson hooks that one. It's swirling, it's in the wind, and beautifully picked up by Roy Powell. Well, looked to be, but Graham King managed to rescue the ball. And King darts one way, and they'll have to watch him, although he's been out through injury quite a bit this season. It's 4 tries to his name. Call Mr. Hunslet, and he's only played for 1 club all the time. And there's over 100 tries for Hunslet. Oh, a nice little piece of play there by Haig. And the referee calling held, and Andrew Raw didn't quite like that, and penalty to Leeds for not playing the ball correctly. John Bentley are just trying to make sure that this goes into touch, especially kicking against this strong wind. Well, the handicap says 43 points start to Hunslet, but in cup competitions, I think that's an enormous start to be given. And I think there'll be 1 or 2 people having an odd bet on that. Not that Leeds won't win, but on the 43 points difference. And once again, Hugh Waddell is penalised for knocking the ball forward in that tackle. Going back to the man putting the ball in, King, I say, with over 100 tries for the club. But only 3 last season, but it's Leeds. Gibson to Bentley. Bentley must score. No, steps inside, he's still going, but he's over. Well, that's 4 of the points. Good try by Leeds, opening up the second division outfit on the far side. And although John Bentley stuttered and stopped, couldn't get to it, and then came inside. It came from a scrum. Very quickly on the ball was Ashton. Lyons, Ettingshausen over the top. Gibson gives it to Bentley. Bentley jinking and jiving, gets his way over, despite the attentions of the Leeds, of the Hunslet players. So a good, simple try. Try coming after just 10 minutes of this first half. And now John Bentley, and the ball's blown over, despite the bucket of sand. And Ashton's going to go across, I think, and put his finger on the ball. Well, John Bentley kicked 8 out of 9 on the last occasion, but wasn't putting against a wind like this, which is putting that flag on top of the stand virtually at 90 degrees to its flagpole. And if he kicks this, it'll be an absolutely superb kick. So left-footed from the wrong side, really, for him. And it's gone quite a way to the right of the post. So, 4 points to 0. John Bentley scores his 3rd try for the club on 10 minutes. Haig to start, and Bentley to field the ball. Well, a little wild, and in fact they've lost the ball. And Herbert Moore is the man who gains it back for Hunslet. Mason, Keith Mason, former Dewsbury prop forward, and Sonny Nicol from the Hunslet Parkside club, and represented Yorkshire Colts last season. So again, Hunslet lacking in ideas just outside the 25. 5 tackles gone, so Haig, and he hooks that one high. Under it is Andrew Ettinghausen. And steps out of one, but doesn't get away from Keith Mitchell. Running against the wind, Leeds. And good clearing run by Richard Gunn. He cooks the next forward to take the brunt of the work. Goes down to Nicol and Gibson. That's Phil Gibson. Oh, and a good run by Richard Gunn. And Leeds with 2 fine hookers in their squad at the moment. never lets Leeds down, doesn't gun. And Stevenson with a nice little grubber kick finds touch just over halfway. Feature of the game so far, the scrummaging, being very open, plenty of space to put the ball into and let the hookers do their proper job. Well, that one didn't, because it looked to go in the second row, but of course, as a commentator, as soon as you say something, exactly the opposite happens. And offside in the centre. And Paul Dixon, it is. And possibly a chance here for Leigh to have a kick at goal. Certainly, I shouldn't have any problem with the length of the kick, but that wind is blowing virtually straight down the field. He's a good 37, 38 yards out, and in line with the left-hand post as we look at it. 32 goals to his credit this season, all coming in the second division championship. In fact, they only scored 2 points, did Hunslet, in the cup games, and Rouse kicked that goal. He's not playing today. It's quite a useful kicker, Steve Leigh, being held by Neil Haig. Well, it's scudded and it's over. Didn't get a lot of height on it, so that the wind didn't take too much effect. Hit it hard and about 3 foot over the crossbar. And so, with 15 minutes gone, Hunslet are back in it. It's Leeds 4, Hunslet 2. Bentley to kick off and keeps that one low. Gets it into the 25 as Nicol comes to pick it up. And Hunslet, when they came up, of course, went straight back down again, and were expected to become a yo-yo outfit, but this season that's not been the case. And they've had lots of people in charge. Johnny Wolford was in charge for a very short period of time. That one coming off Roy Powell, and well picked up by Cliff Lyons. And a penalty. That played the ball. Leigh it is. Nicol on the outside of him, but decided to go on his own. And a penalty for not letting the player up. Well, Mr. Tennant at the moment hasn't quite got his act together with that. And Hunslet finding ground a good 5 yards inside the Leeds half. Saying about Hunslet that, of course, Nigel Stevenson was there, but now he's gone to Huddersfield, and John Wolford and Jack Austin were appointed as the new coaches, but things are not gone too well for them, and David Ward has been brought in. Lee Crooks. Oh, nice ball. There's a big overlap. Cover coming across, Gibson goes inside. Well, there was good cover there. Jed Coates. And the covering tackle made by Marson. The last occasion these two sides met in the Challenge Cup was back in 1964-65. It was played at the old Parkside ground, and Hunslet were victors by 7 points to 5. And in Challenge Cup competitions, both sides have won 4 games, and they go back right to the early 1900s. Hunslet's last Challenge Cup win coming in 1934 over Widnes, and the last time they appeared in the final was in the 1964-65 season. And a scrum for a knock-on. And Phil Gibson, of course, you'll all know all about Leeds, but winners on 10 occasions, losers 4 times, and the last 2 appearances in the final, 1976-77 and 77-78, winning on both occasions. Well, there's the scene set, with just coming up to half of the first half gone. Oh, and Leigh did a good tackle by Cliff Lyons. But Hunslet defying the odds at the moment. 4-2 to Leeds, and 19 minutes gone. Ground in superb condition. The wind just spoiling the game at the moment. Oof. Nice piece of juggling by Chris Bowden and Neil Haig. Now that's gone straight into touch on the 6th tackle, so ball to Leeds, possession to the Loiners. And don't forget the Loiners Guild if you're not a member at the moment. And why not become one? I have. And forward pass by Ray Ashton. So his opposite number, Graham King, will put this one in. And it coming out once more on the Hunslet side. That's Andrew Raw, taking good ground. Leeds can take nothing for granted because Craig cut ties. Never big scoring affairs. Even in Swinton only scored 30-odd points against the amateurs of Milford today. And that one hooked into space. Phil Ford underneath it. Oh, and a lovely break by Ford, electrifying pace over that first 5 yards, which is where he gets away from a lot of people, and he lashes out with his feet at Sonny Nicol. Nicol pushes him in the chest, and the referee will just have a quietening word there with the 2 of them. It all goes to add to the atmosphere of a Challenge Cup tie. Although it be a preliminary round, York or Workington will receive the winners, and I don't think either of them would relish the prospect of playing Leeds. And a good break. David Hurren, who has been playing particularly well of recent times. Cliff Lyons, and Hunslet win that one back. The ball coming off of King, and it was picked up by Keith Mason. Well, so far, Nicol has not had much of a chance to show his skills close into the Leeds line, but I'm told he's quite devastating inside the 25. Oh, and a nice break. Chris Bowden it is, Andrew Ettinghausen with him, but that's a forward pass by an absolute mile. And referee Tennant has seen it, but it was a tremendous break. And unfortunately, Warren Wilson on that, it wasn't Warren Wilson, it was Jed Coates, who'd come from right centre to the left-hand side. Was just too far in front of Coates. Now, I'll get it right in a minute. It was too far in front of Bowden. And couldn't quite take the pass properly anyway. So, a good break, and just a warning there to Leeds not to take them lightly. Of course, David Ward will have them fired up against his old team. The second half may be the time when Leeds First Division class tells, because they'll be playing with the wind. Heron, Gibson, over the top to Bentley, but he's had to check his stride. He'll try and go, well, he does skip inside one. It's a good pass to Ettingshausen. Ettingshausen, but loses it out there to Sonny Nicol. And probably Leeds would have been better to hold on to the ball. Didn't quite have the space to get out his pass. But good thinking, quick thinking by Leeds. And once John Bentley gets his defensive capabilities sorted out, and his tackling, I'm sure he's going to be absolutely superb prospect and possibility of Great Britain honours later. He's got the nice sidestep and the pace, just not the defensive qualities at the moment. Oh, nice little ball, and away goes Coates. Ettingshausen with it. Oh, and a good tackle by Andrew Ettingshausen. But just at the moment, Hunslet slightly on top. Haig. Raw comes inside, and Raw given a little bit of space, hooks it round, picks it up, bounces around, and finally it's Paul Dixon who gets his hands on it, and the ball has been knocked forward. If you're having a lot of shaking on the picture, well, Mike's doing his best here to hold the camera steady, but he's in the wind, I'm not. And the wind is certainly howling down into our commentary position here. Waddell. And Leeds still with that 4 points to 2 advantage with 15 minutes remaining to half-time. And Keith Mason there, penalised for putting the fist in. And Leeds making good ground, and good thinking by Richard Gunn. Gibson. Gibson can't get away. David Heron. And Leeds weathering the storm and the wind, and good play by Lyons, and a little bit high that second tackle by Nicol. And I think Nicol's going to be penalised. A little bit over-exuberant there, the young Yorkshire Colt, and Lyons taps it to himself. Doesn't quite time that pass, and danger here. Ooh, and very nearly a chance for Jed Coates, and a penalty. And things a little hectic and a little frayed at the moment. And on comes the bucket of sand. This time lays a little bit further to the left of the post, only a few yards, and what's a good 30 yards out, so a little nearer. And if he keeps it low and hits it firmly, it should go. Don't mess about very often. It's round the corner style. Here it comes. Well, it's hit it, and it's straight again. And the score now is 4 points apiece. Leeds 4, Hunslet 4, and Lay with 2 penalties. That one coming in the 27th minute. Bentley scurrying that one along the ground. Picked up by Keith Mitchell. Oh, and pinched in the tackle by Paul Dixon, and a massive gap. Heron inside. Oh, Gibson on the end of that pass. But once again, can't get the final pass out, but Leeds in a strong position. Bentley, he makes another 5 yards, and Ashton dictating. From the play the ball, Heron. And Heron gets now so that they're 10 yards away. 3 tackles remaining. Here comes Hugh Waddell, he's going to get to about 5 yards. He does so. And the position sent up now with 2 tackles remaining. Ettingshausen is also looking for the ball. Powell, no, can't keep it alive. Last tackle coming up. Ashton throws it wide to Crooks. Crooks inside to Stevenson. Stevenson throws it wide and Lay manages to pick it up, but the ball just rolling forward. And the scrum 12 yards out. Fingers will be a little cold from this biting wind. And that one never went in at all. And the scrums now are getting back to the usual format, and that comes back out. Ashton, Lyons, Ettingshausen. Ooh, pushes off Coates, gets it out to Bentley. Bentley with Lay wrapped around him. Inches from the line. Ray, and very nicely done by Ray Ashton from the play the ball. Got his head down, gets his centre of gravity low, and puts Leeds back in front at 8 points to 4. Let's have a look at it again. Ettinghausen brushes off Coates, throws the ball wide to Bentley. Bentley going for the line, wrapped around him by Lay. He's inches away from that side touchline, but watch Ashton, gets down low, pushes off one man with his right hand, and over he goes. So 2 tries to Leeds. And John Bentley, oh, it's not now, it's David Stevenson. So busy flying, and David Stevenson, oh, just fades to the right of the post. Sorry about that. I was very busy doing the replay. But David Stevenson was the man who came on to try and kick it. So it's 8-4 in the try on 29 minutes to Ray Ashton. Leeds 8, Hunslet 4. Well, Mr. King's getting in there and having a word with 1 or 2 of his players. And Lee Crooks not looking so healthy after getting a clout in the mouth from Phil Gibson. And referee Tennant is just saying, you know, come on, let's have no more of it. Otherwise you'll be spending 10 minutes probably in the warmth. John Bentley as well with that one. And good play. Lee Crooks back in the action. Keep getting that knock in the mouth. No backup for Waddell. But, still 10 yards inside the Hunslet half. Richard Gunn, nicely played. Ashton, Lyons, Stevenson. Long out to Ford. And now the crowd would like to see Phil Ford get a few runs, but he's kept it going. David Heron. Roy Powell. Powell goes down, so all that play, no further forward. Crooks. Oh, Crooks looking one way, but held onto the ball sensibly. Heron. Oh, David Stevenson giving a bad ball there by Cliff Lyons it was. Right down at his feet. And possession to Hunslet. Oh, pinched in the tackle by Cliff Lyons. Roy Powell. Still 8-4 to Leeds. 6 minutes to half-time. Once more into the 25. Leeds are always dangerous on this position so far in this game. Oh, nicely lifted out of that tackle. And Heron keeps it going. Crooks keeps it on the move, and well, certainly looked to go backwards and not forwards. That, but the referee deciding he's right. And I'm definitely wrong. And King to put the ball in for Hunslet. And it's out Hunslet's side, and King makes a good break. And, good tackle by David Heron. Down the shoulders. King had no backup at all there. It would have been dangerous had he had so. Oh, and Lay goes through an enormous gap. He's got Maynard White wide, and he's going to go for the line. And really, he went the wrong way. Leeds getting back in numbers. Nicol picks it up. The two men darting on his left-hand side went to the right instead. And the scrum developing. But once again, Hunslet proving the point that they can find the gaps when necessary. So Ray Ashton puts it in, and Richard Gunn, I think, has managed to get that out. Burrowing in after it was Ashton. Oh, and a good move here. David Stevenson. Sensibly held on. It's a drop pass in that situation. Would have been very dangerous. Roy Powell doing his usual stint, which everybody takes for granted. Slightly limping Roy Powell at the moment. Richard Gunn's not. And, Hagen Coates. Coates wrapped his arms around that ball so that the Crooks couldn't get it away. And a nice little kick through. So, 3 minutes to half time. Leeds 8, Hunslet 4. Warren Wilson finding the ball hard to get a hold of. Keith Mason fails to make much impression there against Riddell and Dixon. Oh, nice ball. Good chance here. Oh, and Bowden and Marson there doing very well. But King it was. And kicked by David Heron, and that played the ball has resulted in a penalty. But that's the 4th clean break we've had from Hunslet. Coming into the line and breaching the Leeds defence. And Lay now with the chance of his 3rd kick at goal. Young men were up in support there for Hunslet, and they could have done with a couple of the centres there. All credit to Leeds though, when Hunslet have made the breaks, they've managed to get there and cover them, but could have been devastating. And Leeds will be hoping that with the wind at the backs in the second half that they can make similar types of breaks. So Mason holding, and Lay with a chance to penalise David Hearn's thing, and he does so. 39 minutes, and he brings Hunslet to within 2 points. Leeds 8, Hunslet 6. A late penalty from 15 yards. Is the 8 points to 6 to Leeds. Most lays kicked in a match this season is 5. That was against Dewsbury at Ellen Road. And an infringement. The referee saying that the ball was lost and regathered. And Ray Ashton put the ball in. So a good fight by the second division outfit, and Ray Ashton a little slow there. His eye off the ball, and King didn't. And late it is, 3 goals to his credit in 3 attempts. And losing that ball to Dixon. Heron. And Leeds could do with just a score just before half-time, and then with a wind at the backs and really dealt. But half-time comes, and a lot of boos coming up from the south stand below us. But to be perfectly honest, Hunslet have had the wind in their favour. It's a cup tie, and they're always going to try extra hard against the first division outfit like Leeds in a local derby. The scoring coming on 10 minutes, John Bentley's try. On 15 minutes, a Lay penalty from 38 yards out, making it 4-2 to Leeds. Another penalty by Lay, even the scores on 27 minutes. This time he was 30 yards out. Ray Ashton's try, handing off one man close to the line. It's 8-4 to Leeds on 29 minutes. 10 minutes later, Lay's 3rd penalty of the afternoon gives us a half-time score of Leeds 8, Hunslet 6. Both sides now out for the second half. The wind hasn't dropped one iota, still blowing those flags on top of the stand opposite us. Tremendous force. You can see in the top right-hand corner there, right 90 degrees to the flagpole. So with the wind at the backs now, Leeds really should push home their first division advantage. And Bal really, I think, will be fairly pleased to have gone in front at half-time, because Hunslet, with the wind at their backs in that first half, made some very good breaks. The crowd not happy with the first half Leeds performance, but I think we'll see a different picture in the second half. No. Graham King had the ball. Roy Powell's stolen it. Waddell. Ashton holding on when Hooks was looking for the ball on the burst. Heron, Powell, Dixon. Certainly knows his way to the line. Richard Gunn. Ooh, long pass. Crooks tossing it up, but neatly picked up by Andrew Raw. And big Keith Mason. Hands off one man, but can't get very far. And Hunslet, I would anticipate, will be finding themselves penned in this area for quite some time. Sonny Nichols having some treatment, just out of picture. It's going to be tough for Hunslet to get away from here. Haig. Well, that one kicked through. Ettinghausen. Oh, fields it well. He was under pressure from Herbert Moore, but he did it well. Phil Ford. Stevenson. Powell. Ford again. Bentley. Inside. Picked out of the air by Powell very neatly indeed. Bentley throws it inside, but picked out by Graham King. Well, still 8 points to 6 in Leeds' favour. And just 2 minutes. This half gone. Nice piece of play by Haig. Oh, and into the gap comes Moore. And Moore, one of the leading scorers. Raw, but Andrew Ettinghausen's there once more. Raw's only one try to his credit, but Moore has, as far as I can see, 5. One of their more dangerous players. Moore, Nicol and King are the people with the tries, mainly for Hunslet. John Bentley. Oh, that's going to be a good kick. Once, twice, and into touch. Good 40-yard kick diagonally. Referee Tennant getting right in amongst them and telling them exactly where he wants them, 5 yards in. He's let them get back together, and it's come right out of the back. Late for the attention of his opposite number, Ettingshausen. Coates. And the Leeds backs not had many running opportunities in this game. Oh, Lay through a little gap, but David Stevenson, defensive qualities there. Haig, and will that make touch? No, the wind is actually blowing it back. And Phil Ford. Ettingshausen will come across field with one of those looping runs. Gibson through the gap. Bentley within. Ashton. Dixon. What a good try. Well, I'd only said seconds ago, and as I said to you before, commentators are always proved wrong. They've had very few running opportunities, but they made a try there out of absolutely nothing. A beautiful try. You saw Ettingshausen slip it out to Lyons, Lyons to Gibson, Gibson steps off his right foot, coming round here outside is Bentley to Ashton, Ashton waits beautifully for Dixon, and Dixon scores his first try for Leeds, and I'm sure it'll be one of many. David Stevenson with the kick, Ray Ashton getting some treatment, but he slit that pass beautifully in the tackle. And David Stevenson kicks it. A few sighs of relief below. Leeds 14, Hunslet 6. The try coming 7 minutes into the second half. David Stevenson's 53rd goal of the season. And now will the floodgates open? We thought it was going to happen on a couple of occasions in the first half, but Hunslet proved us wrong, but they're really going to have to tackle now. They're against that strong wind. And Richard Gunn. And Lee Crooks were penalised at that. Nickel, well, we might knock over second division defences, but is finding the Leeds tackling to be far more substantial. But they're into the Leeds half in possession. And man there looking for a break, but just can't get to it. It was Keith Mitchell who made the position, but nobody came with him, and Coates shows it one way. Oh, and skipping away. What a Wilson it was, made a good run. On ball by Coates to Haig. Haig, another long pass. Well, David Stevenson didn't get hold of it. Raw going for the line. Still going strong, Andrew Raw, a yard short. Stevenson really should have nailed Herbert Moore. Oh, Sonny Nickel drops the ball, pounced on by David Heron. Well, it's still proving that there are no pushovers, even though they're some 8 points behind. Leeds must make sure that they get good ground advantage out of each of these moves. Roy Powell. And as the game wears on, of course, Leeds should have the superior fitness and pace. Bentley, again looking for that far side, and well, Raw was in two minds, should I or shouldn't I? Did it for long enough. And the substitution going to be made by Hunslet. Graham King is going to go off, and Tim Lum will come on. Lum has played most of the season at scrum half, when King has been injured. That's a couple of tries to his credit. Lay into the line once more. Oh, knocked forward by Carl Gibson. Scrum. Sir Tennant making his presence felt. He's going to stand in between this scrummer game. Well, it went in the Hunslet side. Ray Ashton having a good game today. And a good running chance here. Gibson. As usual, Lyons backing up, Powell in a good position, showing the sidestep of the centre. Big stride, eating up the ground as he goes. Gibson, good firm tackle by Marson. In a good competitive Challenge Cup tie. Preliminary round match. The winner's going to York or Workington. The Crooks, well, not a particularly good pass, and Gibson and Bentley having trouble. Coates in possession for Hunslet. Five yards from halfway. And Hunslet still plugging away, trying to find that gap. Score their try if they can. Andrew Raw, and his left thigh heavily strapped. But, not having any good opportunities, and Haig really blast that one into touch from the bodyguard. Leeds win possession. Oh, Ford, lovely weaving run. Gibson, a chance. Can Gibson go between Coates and the wingman, Bentley? Bentley hands off Nicol, he's still going strong. And Bentley will go behind the posts for a good try. Sonny Nicol had the opportunity of getting him, but John Bentley just slight shimmy to the right. And that just left Nicol grasping thin air. Lay just couldn't get back to cover it. And 4 tries now to Leeds. Started from that scrum. Phil Ford weaves his way. It's once again Powell. Gibson makes the gap. Bentley just weaving away. And a good move. Right behind the post. David Stevenson to kick. Should make it easily. He does so. And Leeds, with those 6 points now, take a 20 points to 6 lead. Bentley's second try of the afternoon, and it came with just 14 minutes of the second half gone. 2 tries in 7 minutes for Leeds. And Stevenson is second of the afternoon. Powell. Bentley hoists that one into a big gap between Wilson and Lay, and it's running all the way back and runs dead. Wind had something to do with that. So, substitute Tim Lum starts Hunslet off again. First tackle. And little ground can be made by Keith Mason. Lum with nowhere to go, and Hunslet have dropped a yard in pace in the second half. Haig, well, he was tripped according to the referee. He cooks the offender. And Haig to kick to touch. Well, lost the ball. Aaron, good tackle by Coates. Crooks has got gun with him. So backed up by Ashton. Ray Ashton having a very good game today. Ford, Lyons, Stevenson throws it wildly, but Ettinghausen makes for the error. And Drew Ettinghausen would love to get a couple of tries today to go into double figures. Doesn't matter who scores them as long as they get to the next round. And touch judge coming in from the Mr. Booth with the Cerise flag. And well, one thing happened that we didn't see. Looked like it was Ray Ashton who was the man who was penalised. Well, that's all over and done with, and we've got 22 minutes remaining. Well, Lum trying to make an impression since he came on, but without much success. Haig, Moore to Raw, Well, Raw going to try and go around the outside and does so, but puts a foot into touch. David Stevenson collared him as well, just to make sure. So still showing signs of potential from Hunslet. And David Ward, I'm sure, said in a couple of interviews I heard today that he was hoping just for a general all-round improvement. Oh, and a good little tap on the ankle by Coates it was, and more. And Coates has been one of the stars for Hunslet this afternoon. Backed up everything, kept the ball going. Good all-round professional. Well, Andrew Raw was up against Phil Ford, but he's got that one out very well, and Lum. Once more time, it's Haig. Nicol not having one of his better games. The Silk Cut Challenge Cup has a prize structure worth a total of £170,000 this year. And the preliminary round, each side taking part, that's £1,300. The winners, 20,000 this year, winners up 11,000. Well, it's still, I suppose you could say, anybody's game. There's 14 points in it, but Hunslet is still there, and Leeds just need now, I would think, another try to kill them off. And I can see over on the far side that David Creaser and Sam Backo are both warming up, and David Creaser is going to get a tremendous round of applause when he comes on. Well, the substitutes, John Bentley is going to go off after scoring 2 tries. And number 10, Hugh Waddell, will be the other one. And the referee is saying that they can't go off yet, is he? No. Well, it's David Creaser, number 14, and Sam Backo, number 15. And they're on for John Bentley, number 2, and Hugh Waddell, number 10. David Creaser, a very welcome return, not having played this season. And very near to 1,000 points for the club. 940, in fact, in 155 appearances, so round about sort of 6 per appearance. Good play by Paul Dixon. 67 tries. David Creaser, 336 goals. So, with that sort of ability in reserve, along with Chris Vasey, I think, who scored 4 tries recently for the Alliance side. And Gary Schofield, of course, still injured. Leeds could be her final appearance this year. Hunslet giving them a tough match, and, not lying down. The bookies, with that 43 points that they said would be the difference, I think they're going to lose a little bit of money today. And referee deciding that both sides knocked on in that encounter. Creaser's gone to right centre. And Carl Gibson's gone on the wing. Oh, Andrew Ettingshausen juggled with it, but couldn't hold on. And Warren Wilson it is. And Keith Mason has just about run out of steam, not being able to make much ground, but it's tried hard. Hunslet, who had a terrible start to the season, losing 6 out of the first 7 games, are now beginning to make some headway in the second division, but very little in this match. 3 penalties to Leigh, 4 tries and 2 conversions to Leeds. The game a little scrappy at the moment. Stan Warriner, the only substitute not used. And referee Tennant, I think, is beginning to lose patience with both front rows. Ashton, a little bit of footwork, but well recovered there. Quite see it is, but Tim Lum it is. He did well. Going straight through Moore's hands, but once again it's Coates who picks it up. Well played, gets that ball out in the tackle to Nicol. And Nicol having the pace to get up in support. That ball going out to Warren Wilson. Can't make much ground. And 6 tackle, hand over to Leeds. Sam Backo with his first real possession. David Stevenson, he's only scored 1 try this season. And, doesn't seem to be able to break away from that record. In fact, he scored it in the first game of the season against Featherstone. Oh, and Leeds now with a good chance here, but well, the referee is sorting out something that happened way back. And has given the possession to Hunslet. Haig, absolutely hammering off of Cliff Lyons. Well, chance for Moore, withdraw on his outside. Gives it to him when he's got Phil Ford in front of him. Not exactly giving his, the centre giving his winger the opportunity. And the substitution is going to be made shortly. But Stan Warrener is going to come on for Jed Coates, who's really given his all, but never been able to make the final break. Well, at last back in the Leeds half. And possession lost, and Sam Backo taking two of them with him, loses the ball, and Nicol grasps it back. Still trying to get the substitute on. And lost to the ball again, and Roy Powell will pick that up. Well, forward clashes still hard and strong. And Leeds never really getting into 100% top gear, but with 11 minutes remaining, they're 20 points to 6 in front, and that really should be enough. Oh, good ball by Lyons to Paul Dixon, who's managed to open his account today. Lyons again, twisting and turning. Ettingshausen, Heron. Oh, and a good tackle by Coates, who's the man who's going to have to come off in a moment. Sam loses it. 3 possessions, he lost it twice. Hunslet trying to the death. Moore, he wouldn't relish that pass from Lum. And it appears the colder it is, the less Sam likes it. Haig can only look for support one way. Lake comes down the centre, but the gap closed very rapidly with Powell and Ashton there. Good little kick over the top, but once again Ray Ashton's there. And, jinked and turned once too often. Ettinghausen not had as much possession today. It started off the move that led to Bentley's second try. And somebody down injured. And it's Lee Crooks that's down. Injury looks to the back of his calf. Still lying there. And a good kick by Cliff Lyons, right to the 25. And finally, after waiting there for about 4 minutes, Stan Warren is going to come on, and Coates is going off. And Lee Crooks is about to go off, and Hugh Waddell is coming on. And it's Lee's left leg. That's the danger, the problem. Would be a mite of cramp, but just making sure anyway. Oh, well taken by Ashton Stevenson. And Lyons as ever, backing up Ettinghausen, but David Creaser, well, that's the first thing he's really had to do. His hands are probably numb. He's been on 5 minutes, 10 minutes without having a touch. at least he's back in the action. Many Leeds fans will be very glad of that. The wrestling match developing on the floor for the ball. The referee decides to bring the packs together. Phil Gibson has done well in the scrums, and a good ball out, so just forward. Lay doesn't like the decision. Warner would have loved it had it gone the right way, because he was on a run. Phil Ford was the man that was covering. Been interesting. But, referee Tennant enjoying a joke with both front rows. And once again, the Sam Backo is having the same problem with Keith Mason as Lee Crooks was having. And a kick through and a race for the line. Oh, well covered by Andrew Raw, with Phil Ford and Andrew Ettinghausen absolutely bearing down on him at top speed. But he covered well. 5 minutes remaining, 14 points the difference. And Hunslet have given everything they possibly can, and a little bit perhaps more than that, but they've not had the speed and potential. And hard luck there by Tim Lunn. He did his best, the ball just got tangled up at his feet. Carl Gibson has got the ball. Leeds with the extra pace in the backs. Done the job. And both sides down to 12 men at the moment. David Creasy was given a pass there that was not just high but going behind him as well. And Hunslet in possession. A good ball. Oh, Moore. Well, Ford kicked it down and Ford is away. Ford's away and he'll beat them to the line. He has done. Well, that should now seal it for Leeds. Game in the 76th minute. Phil Ford's try. Started with Hunslet possession. It's thrown along the line. Moore drops it. Ford knocks it on with his knee. And although he's got Nicol chasing him and Lay, he just veers off to the left and goes behind the posts. So Phil Ford's fourth try for Leeds in 3 appearances, and David Stevenson should really now kick this. If he does so, it'll be 26-6. He does, no problem at all. So a good piece of opportunism by Phil Ford to pick that one up and go 40 yards unopposed. Creaser out to the side, sets Gibson, Gibson hands one man off. And this late try surge, well, Leeds now beginning to rub it in. Carl Gibson. Just a minute after Phil Ford. Came here. Backo letting it go. Ashton swings it wide. Powell gets it away. Creaser with a long ball. And then Gibson stepped inside. One man handed off the next. Tim Lum it was that he handed it off. Wilson that he stepped inside. Good try by Carl Gibson. And David Creaser doing well to get the ball away so well. And David Stevenson, chance now for his 4th goal of the afternoon. He may have to kick this towards the far left of the post with the wind to bring it in. It's the wrong side for him, really, but if he kicks it across the face, the wind may just about bring the ball in. And he's kicked it beautifully, right between the posts. It's now Leeds 32, Hunslet 6, and the hooter goes. A flurry of points, right on time by my watch as well. A flurry of points at the end. 4 tries in the second half, all converted by David Stevenson. Has given Leeds that 32 points to 6 win. 2 tries in the first half, neither of them converted by John Bentley and Ray Ashton. Those 4 in the second half by Paul Dixon, John Bentley, Phil Ford and Carl Gibson. 4 conversions by Stevenson, that's Leeds 32 points. And 3 penalties by Steve Lay in the first half, giving the final score of Leeds 32, Hunslet 6.